After Thierry Henry, Emmanuel Petit and Patrick Vieira,
Raymond Blanc, Michel Roux and Alain Ducasse.
this is the next best French thing.
Fact. Now, no French day should start off without a croissant. No day should start off without a croissant.
Every day starts with a croissant.
These are incredible. It's a leavened dough, which means it has yeast in it, and that's where we're going to start. So we've got yeast and warm water, and if we just mix those two together, there's a spoon behind us, Baz.
I'm regretting this chin strap already.
And that will just start to activate our yeast. It's slightly warm water.
Brings it alive.
In the meantime, actually we can feed the yeast as well. Just a tiny pinch of sugar in there
Yeah,
helps. The rest of the sugar into our other mixing bowl, along with all of our milk.
Now, I have these every single day, so it's quite good to know actually
Every day? Yeah, well, I think when you see how much butter goes into our all butter croissants, you might change your mind because
That and a latte, it's fine.
a skinny latte, you balance them out.
Do
All
you?
of the flour goes in as well, along with, from behind us, Baz, a pinch of salt, and it's also a slightly enriched dough, so not a lot, but a little bit of melted butter. All the weights and measurements are available down below.
Well, that's not as much butter as I thought it was going to be.
Plenty more later, don't worry.
Now, Ben, can you explain why we haven't done croissants for a long time before?
I was saving them for Saucy France. With our yeasty water started to activate, that can all go in as well. You'll see it's a very sticky dough, but keep going until there's no lumps of flour and it's all pretty smooth.
That is a very sticky dough.
It is a very sticky dough. So basically, unlike most bread doughs, you don't really need to knead this. So it is super sticky and you can't really use it at this stage. You put in the melted butter, it's all at kind of room temperature because of the ingredients. So at this point, put the whole thing into a fridge to chill and set up for about half an hour, and we can move on to the next part, which is butter.
How much of that butter are we using?
Well, there's no getting around it, it's all of it.
I have quite a high cholesterol problem, and I think this explains why my croissant a day might not be the best option.
Best if you let your butter come up to room temperature a bit to make this easier, and then basically bash it out, and you can do that into a slab. But it's got to be pretty even all the way across. Perfect.
Yeah.
And that slab of butter can't really be used when it's soft, so that also needs to go into the fridge to chill up. So this one has been chilling in the fridge, so we can move on and do that bit. A generous scattering of flour, because it is still a sticky dough.
What's flour in French? I thought you spoke French.
Worse than that, I used to work in a French kitchen. I really should know that.
So for those of you who don't know, Ben does speak pretty much fluent French, apart from the word flour.
Un peu. Je parle petit français. Say it quickly, no one knows. Right, there we go. You see our dough now? All we need to do is stretch out to a long kind of rectangle, and this is the shocking part. This is what makes butter croissants so good. We're going to laminate them in butter.
Doesn't laminate mean plastic, Ben?
Yes, but in this case, it's a process for folding butter into our pastry.
Right.
So, I've got a cold butter that I did earlier.
Yep.
And that entire slab just sits in the middle of there. Then, we basically cover it up. Like that.
That's just a butter sandwich, Ben.
So that is an all butter croissant. Now, at this stage, what you need to do is turn it through 90 degrees and fold it in thirds.
Right.
Okay? And you're left with that.
Okay.
At this point, flour yourself a tray.
I'm gonna forget this. Good job, there's a video on it.
And place your dough on there and into the fridge to rest for 45 minutes. Once it's rested for 45 minutes, it looks like this.
Why in the fridge that long?
Just to set up, because it's butter, because it's a very soft dough, to give you a chance to actually be able to work with it.
Yeah.
To give the yeast a chance to slow proof. Croissants rise for two reasons. One, the yeast. Two, layers of butter in between the pastry. As they get hot, they evaporate and they push the layers up.
Hence the flaky.
The flaky, buttery pastry. So remember what we're going to do? Fold up into thirds. Turn it through 90 degrees and roll out again. Then we laminate again, fold up into thirds, back onto the tray,
back into the fridge.
Chill it for 45 minutes and repeat 3 times.
Okay.
So you end up laminating it 6 times in total. Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
At which point you put it into a fridge and you leave it overnight. And then it looks like this. So you can still see the layers of laminating. A slow proof in the fridge means that our yeast has done its work and we can start to finally roll and shape our croissants. So this is our final finished croissant dough. It's been laminated 6 times. It's had a slow proof overnight and it's quite a cold dough now, but you kind of need that. So, trim off along the bottom. So we've got a nice straight edge to work with. And again along the top. And then basically we want really tall pyramids. So that's your point of the pyramid. Go to about there and just cut all the way up in one straight line.
Nailed it! Wait a minute, is this the point where you could put chocolate in it and make it into a pan au chocolat?
You could make it into a chocolate croissant, but not...
Which is a pan au chocolat?
No. What does croissant mean?
Butter, I don't know.
Crescent. The
No,
crescent shape of a croissant is a croissant. So a pan au chocolat is a chocolate bread made from similar pastry, but it's not in a crescent shape, so you can't call it a chocolate croissant. Let me show you what you do. First of all, take a little snippet off the bottom, and then we need to roll it up pretty tight, like this. So start like so, and then basically you're going to roll with your hand at the same time as holding the tip. So basically you're going to roll like that, pulling the tip, roll with the hand, and then the important thing is put the tip underneath so that when it bakes and proves, it doesn't rise. Roll it into that crescent shape, and that is a croissant.
My turn.
You have a go.
How wrong can you get it? So you cut the middle out.
Yep, and the reason you're taking that out is it gets a little bit doughy in the middle if you don't.
You pull the edges out, a little bit stretchy, like that. And then you start to roll it. So you get it going, then you grab the tip. Then you roll like this.
Keeping it quite taut, that's why you're holding the tip, that's it. Right the way around.
There you go.
Make sure the tip ends up on the bottom, fold it round into a crescent and put it on the tray.
I did a croissant.
You did a croissant. A couple of other really cool tips. Absolutely, you could put some chocolate in the middle of here, or an almond croissant. You could put a little bit of marzipan, a bit of a cheat, or a frangipane in the middle as you roll it up.
Nice.
And you get almond croissants. Now, if you're actually any good, all your croissants should be about the same size.
Yeah.
We haven't had a huge amount of practice at this, so these are a bit rustic. If you think you've got any other tips onto how to make these better, please do comment below. That's what Sur Lie is all about. But the next stage, leave this at room temperature for a couple of hours with a clean tea towel over it to prove again. A couple of hours. Then egg wash them to get that beautiful glaze. And finally put them into an oven at 200 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes, and then breakfast is ready.
Boom down.
Once they've been baked, give them a few minutes to cool and then serve them up for brekkie.
What would you serve yours with?
Well, you can go sweet or savoury. I like confiture, or why not scrambled egg, cheese and ham in the middle.
Oh, lovely.
Also works. But there they are, our all butter croissants.
Still dead.
Le petit déjeuner, enjoy.
Oh, check out this, right, get rid of this. And, there is nothing better in the world than that, is there?
Light, fluffy, spongy, layers and layers of buttery pastry.
That is incredible. I've never had homemade croissants. Well, I've never made them myself. That makes all the difference.
It really does. It takes a long time, it is a lot of effort, but when you put that into your mouth, it is all worth it.
I personally think these are pretty damn hard to beat. But if you can think of any other better pastries out there from where you're from, then send them to us.
And they don't have to be about sorted eats France. It could be Danish pastries, Swedish buns, cinnamon rolls, whatever you love.
In fact, they're all amazing.